Hello, hello Pisces. Welcome to your 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Pisces. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you would like more guidance, support, healing throughout your 2020. You know I'm going to be here. And so you're welcome to stay up to date with all of that. And of course, I will be offering a tarot pop-up in December. So if you're interested in staying in the know about that, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter if you would like tarot offerings from me. And other than that, if you want to work with me one-on-one or know which decks that I'm using in this reading, go ahead, check out all of the stuff in the description box, all the links, and I list out all of the decks that I've used. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to lay this spread out and then I will get to reading. All right, let's start with your oracle cards for 2020. I regard all altars with respect. Okay, so leading with respect is going to help keep you out of judgment. If that's something where you have a tendency to put a lot of black and white judgments on things, it's about moving away from that and simply just coming from respect, even if it's outside of yourself or it's different from what you have going on or it's an experience you haven't had. It's just going to help temper everything that you have going on. So just sticking with that, taking that perspective in 2020 is going to help. And then we also have finding balance. Yep. Definitely not pushing too hard, but also not being laissez-faire or just laying off too much. It really is about finding the right temperature for you. It's kind of like that Goldilocks recipe of what works for you. Balance does not mean 50-50. I just want to make that clear. It's simply about weaving in something that you're missing or you're lacking. And then we have opportunity. Don't rely on kismet. Go where the opportunities can find you. It's time to show up and say yes. Make yourself ready for the good you are drawing near. Yeah, get ready. Take that approach. Like, get into the energy of it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And that can really help you cultivate the opportunities that you need. And then we have presence. Beautiful. Presence is about being with the present moment, right? Just being where you are, enjoying where you are. Remember, and I say this pretty often, but there's always going to be more available. There's always going to be a next level. There's always going to be another opportunity. There's always going to be another thing that needs to happen or another goal to reach or whatever. And so being present is practicing gratitude in this moment and finding your internal support and grounding in the now. Okay, so let's do the central energy for you in 2020. We have the 9 of Swords. So it's interesting. The first thing that came up here was feeling constricted or confined or like shackled. You know, because there's this imagery down here I'll just show you. It's like there's a chain and collar on this swan. And so remember, this is fear-based. The good news, what I like about the 9 of Swords is that it's not real. This is a reminder that the experience of feeling bound, confined, shackled, or afraid that you're never going to get out or it's never going to shift, all of this is in your mind. It's not actually reality. It's something that you're just kind of projecting onto the unknown. The crossing energy is the Knight of Wands. So meet it with the energy that you want to shift, right? Because it's like the potential for you to move forward and kind of break out of that mentality is available to you. But you have to put your energy behind it. You have to identify what is it that you're going to be moving away from? What do you need to put your energy behind in order to break out of whatever might be feeling kind of constrictive or confining? And then from that space, you're really going to jet forward. So that's really exciting to have coming up here with this Knight of Wands energy. It's just like meet it with energy, vitality, fullness, and conviction, right? Know that just showing up and putting your energy behind it is going to get things to shift. What you have shifting out is the Three of Cups. I'm not going to speak to this yet. I'm kind of curious what the oncoming energy is first, and then I'll speak to that. Six of Pentacles, reciprocity. What you get in is what you get, or what you put in is what you get out. And I'm actually going to clarify the Three of Cups because this is like celebration, friendship, happiness. So I just want to get a little bit more context on that. Queen of Diamonds. Okay, so this is the Queen of Pentacles in a normal deck. And I'm getting that it seems like you're just beginning to take things more seriously or putting more, like I said, energy behind the things that you need, rooting yourself in that. And the Queen of Pentacles is just kind of the counterpart to the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is like the energy of it's not a big deal, we'll get there when we get there, you know, kind of that loose, flowing. It's an ultra feminine card. And so the Queen of Pentacles is kind of like, okay, there's a pivot point in that where I think it is easier to just like relax and not worry about it or kind of have a laissez-faire attitude in order to avoid this fear, right? So there's this big fear piece that you're working through in 2020 where it's like you're emerging out of that space of feeling stuck. So this is where you actually break free and you move into situations and opportunities that are more reciprocal and aligned with the energy that you want to be in, right? Because it's about input, output is what you have coming up here, being met with the energy that you're pouring in. And so this is just a beautiful way to go from maybe kind of taking a hands-off approach to getting more serious about what you're asking for or what you're looking to heal, confronting the fear, knowing that it's not going to break you down and it's not going to ruin you, and then finding that you are met once you get over that fear piece, or you see the fear but you do it anyway. That's kind of the energy of 2020. And it's like doing the scary things and then realizing they weren't that big of a deal to begin with. That's basically what your 2020 is going to look like. Like, oh, I can do this. Oh, it is going to be okay. All right, so now we have like your goals, your intentions, your career, whatever personal projects you have going on in 2020. We have the Three of Pentacles, so they are building. They're really getting some steam behind them. They're building and growing and developing. And so you have a lot that's in the incubator in 2020, and these things are going to grow and get bigger over time. So just make sure that you're not rushing the process too much, but instead just trust that by confronting the fear but continuing to put energy behind it, you're going to get the reciprocation that you need. And when it comes to you meeting your goal, it's building. It's just saying, yes, this is under construction, it's in progress, so you can trust it's going to happen because you're building it. You're literally doing what you need to do. And then this is relationships. So yes, this can totally be romantic. For those of you who are interested in love relationships this year, if that's a big focus for you, this will apply to you if you're already in partnership, if you're looking, or if you would prefer to focus on platonic relationships. All right, Eight of Wands. So a lot of movement, picking up the pace in relationships. This is like things are really gaining a lot of steam in that area of your life. So maybe you're developing more friendships, more connections, or more potential romantic partners, or things are really building and picking up the pace with your current romantic partner. It just seems like the momentum is really sitting behind the relationship area of your life. So I see a lot of growth and development and strength in that card right there. and that area of your life is going to feel really expansive. So I also see this as a great challenge to the Nine of Swords. It seems like everything else is going really well and it's expanding. And so it is going to end up calming down that Nine of Swords energy, the, oh my God, what if it doesn't work? Or what if this happens? It's all the what ifs, the concerns, the fears are kind of melting and washing away. Okay, now this is your material world, so your money, your finances, your physical living space, the material support that you have. We have the Nine of Wands. Watch yourself for burnout, right? Because it doesn't serve you to operate until you get to the place of burnout and then have to rest. And so it's kind of like just pace yourself instead. Pacing yourself is going to be the best thing that you can do when it comes to your resources, because it's just going to be more sustainable and you're going to end up getting more things done than if you just ramp up your energy and then crash, and then ramp up your energy and then crash. You can maintain it in a way that's going to work for you, but you just have to find that balance and equilibrium. Your flow state is going to be what really supports you. And then to clarify this, we have the the Five of Clubs. This is equivalent to the Five of Wands. If you guys are unfamiliar, this is my favorite card, the Five of Wands, because it's about problem solving. It's about figuring it out. And I just see this as having so much value, right? You're able to problem solve the experience of either ramping up and crashing, or maybe it's how do I get out of this situation, or how do I call in the right resources and the right support? Whatever the case may be, it seems that everything is coming together in the way that you're problem solving, and then matching that in a state, a flow, an ebb and flow experience that works for you. So this looks good. It's a lot of movement, similar to the Eight of Wands. It's like the pace is really picking up in this area. And it's also showing that the friction is what leads to you getting traction, and then that's actually what you can build from. Now, this is advice for you in 2020. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to clarify this for you because, of course, all we really have is the unknown. We don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. I mean, maybe some of you do, but in reality, we don't. And so the energy of the Wheel of Fortune is just to know that you can put whatever you want into the unknown. So be really specific about that, because you're going to get it back. You're going to be met with the energy that you're intending. So be as specific and conscious as you can about that. And then we have the Four of Hearts. This is equivalent to the Four of Cups. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. That's the main thing. If your body is just like, no, this does not feel right, pay close attention to that, and also acknowledge the pain points, work through those, but also be really specific about what you're asking for, because it is going to be met in 2020. That's the main thing, is ask and you shall receive, but a closed mouth won't get fed. Both of those laws kind of apply here. And so the Wheel of Fortune is helping you kind of hammer out the details, get really specific, and then knowing that you're going to receive that, having that conviction. Now let's get into the timeline. This is the first quarter of 2020, second, third, and fourth quarter. They're about 3 months, give or take. It's a little bit more fluid because we're talking about time. But this first quarter, we have the Knight of Swords. So being fearless, like just kind of charging ahead with what you know you need to do, or what feels good to you, or that endeavor that you're kind of putting your energy behind in the beginning, and challenging that fear. The Knight of Swords is really helping you to do that. It's helping you to break out of that and just doing the thing, even if it feels like a big risk or it feels scary. Knight of Swords is really helping you with that. It's kind of like I said in the beginning, being scared and doing it anyway. And then quarter two, we have the Nine of Wands. Pace yourself. It seems like things get really busy in the second quarter. It's just a lot of movement, a lot of stuff kind of getting kicked up in this second quarter, but know that the Nine of Wands is reminding you, you could be cusping burnout, so make sure that you temper yourself before you get to that space. Quarter 3, we have the Eight of Swords. This is kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a mystery. You need to wait and see. There's somewhat of a, I'm not going to show you that much. I'm actually getting kind of like a, you know, God's kind of having a sense of humor by putting this card on the table. Just because it's translating as surprise. That's actually what I'm reading off of this card, is like, you're not allowed to see because there is goodness in it. But before you even focus on that, you need to set your intention first. You need to be clear. Be clear about what you're asking for, and then holding space for that as you work through this. Fourth quarter, wrapping up 2020. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so momentum. And it's funny because there does seem to be some balance, right? This is like, you might be moving too fast. And then whatever happens here, this is going to be a really interesting time, this third quarter. I don't know what type of movement, evolution, change happens here, but it seems like it's significant. And then things really pick up and take off at the end of 2020. So you have a lot to look forward to this year. It's just about challenging that part of you that's afraid. Don't be afraid. Just kind of move forward with it. You've got, you know, this one life, so you may as well do it up. Why not? Okay, now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to pick a card, any card. Feel into what's right for you. Take a deep breath into the diaphragm. Ask a question, whatever you need. Pause the video if you need more time. And card number 1, we have the Sun. Have fun, like enjoy yourself, seriously. Take a break if you need it. Like, you're definitely going to be giving what you want to do more energy, but in the same breath, it's kind of like, pay attention to this part of yourself that might need some lightheartedness as you go. Kind of meet the situation with pure intentions and wanting to just enjoy yourself. Card number 2, Seven of Chalices. You might have a bunch of options on the table, but really it doesn't matter. Just go with the one that feels best to you in the moment. Know that you're going to land where you need to land. Try to take some pressure off of decision making, and just know that having an abundance of opportunities or an abundance of decisions to make is actually a blessing. Trust yourself to make the right one, or for the clarity to come to you, and let the rest go. You know, you don't need to focus on the what if I chose wrong, what if I didn't pick the right thing. It's like, just lean into the decision that you're making and know that what's meant for you won't pass you by. Card number 3, we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so there's decluttering energy from this card, the Three of Swords. You know, it can represent grief, loss, heartache, all of those things, but it's not specific to any specific context. The other thing here that's really interesting that's coming up is, because it is swords and it represents grief, there's also a mental component here, like a grieving a mentality or grieving a mindset. It's like shedding the cerebral part of yourself that isn't serving you. So maybe there is something that really does need to be let go, more than likely. If that's something that you feel intuitively, then that's the right information for you. But otherwise, this could be like the way you're thinking about something, or the perspective that you're holding on to that is really kind of making things muddy. So consider taking inventory of the way you're thinking about things and letting go and releasing those elements. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, if you want to know which decks I used in this reading, they are listed in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe so you have more supportive videos throughout your 2020. And don't forget to watch your sun, moon, and rising if you haven't already. And If you want to know how to work with me one-on-one, go to onyxhealing.com or check out the description box for all of the fun stuff that I have to offer. And until next time, have a beautiful 2020, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.